Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Maria. I am a stay-at-home mom of 4 kiddos and a sheepadoodle, and we are getting things done today. All those things that you put aside that are not a priority, that are way down on that laundry list. So I'm checking a few of those boxes off today, and we're starting off here in my master bathroom, and it's a disaster. It's embarrassing. I like to think I am sharing this with you to make you feel better about your own. It's pretty darn bad. My main point in being in here today is to organize my makeup. That is something that has been long overdue. And when I say long overdue, I'm talking years. Long overdue. The bag that I currently am using to house my makeup is atrocious. The fact that I even put the makeup that lives in that bag onto my face is probably a health hazard of some sort. But that's all right. Listen, we're going to take care of it today. We're going to get this vanity all nice and cleaned up, because that's always what I like to do first before I do anything. Just kind of get all of this wiped up and cleaned down, and then we're going to get to the main point of doing this, which is to organize all of my stuff. Us moms, I feel, at least in my situation, and I'm sure in many others, or just women in general, are low on the totem pole of getting stuff done. So this was one of my many things in the new year that I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better about me so that I could do better for everyone else. I say to myself that if I walked into my daughter's room and saw her makeup and hair things and everything the way that sometimes my stuff gets, I would be really mad at her for letting it get that way. And how am I an example? I'm definitely not leading by example here. So I'm excited to get whatever makeup I do have organized and put in my drawers here, and it just makes a world of difference. Makes you feel a little fresh, a little special, like you got some new things, and I'm excited. And the rest of the video today is also conquering kind of those not forgotten, because every time I go to cook, or every time I go to do the laundry, or anytime I use the sink in our mudroom, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to do this. I have to clean this out. I have to do this. And it's just, like I said, really low on the totem pole of priorities. So we're getting a few of those things done today, checking a few of those boxes off. If you're here for it and you have a few of those things to do, then let's get them done together. Now I'm showing you the drawers over here that I'm going to be utilizing for my makeup. Now I'm just cleaning them out. They weren't overly terrible. I didn't have a ton of stuff in here, but it definitely needed to get sorted through and wiped down nicely before I can go ahead and put in the new clear containers that I got for all of my makeup. And this is a kind of a little carousel tipsy-turvy thing that I've had for quite a while now, and it's good. It's a little flimsy, but it houses the things that I use regularly, or used to, and it's gotten a little out of hand. So I'm just taking that downstairs, giving it a good scrub in my sink, because it had just kind of a filthy film all over it, so I needed to disassemble it and just get that cleaned up. So now that I have that done, I am putting the things here that I use daily. I don't want anything on it that I don't use, because then it's just taking up space and making an unnecessary mess. So we are just going back here now that it's clean and filling it up with the things that I use, getting the shelves kind of at the heights that I need for each of these particular pieces. And then we're going to move on to my makeup, which is the most exciting thing that I'm doing today for sure. I didn't order much for this organizing venture I'm doing here, but I did order these clear kind of little organizers here for the drawers, and I did this for a few different reasons. I wanted everything to look a little more neat, a little more orderly. I like the idea of these clear bins because I can easily take them out when they do need to be cleaned and wash them in the sink and get them right back in there. And they even came with these little pads to put on the bottom so that they don't slide around in your drawer. And they came with a good amount of different sizes, good ones to hold brushes. And you'll see how I kind of organize everything in a little bit. But I'm really happy with these, and I'll link them down below in case you are in the market for something similar to this. And it came with a lot. I was able to do 2 drawers, and I even have a couple extra to do the other side, and a few left for my kiddos' bathrooms too. So I was happy with this set. I desperately needed new makeup sponges. I've probably been using the same makeup sponge for the past, I don't know that I want to admit that yet. Might need to be here a little bit longer for me to really admit those types of things, but it's been a long time and you'll see it. It's pretty bad. This is my Flawless. I use it every day on my face, so I'm sticking it here for now, but this does wind up moving to another drawer. Now, here it is. Here is the makeup bag, and oh God, if I saw any, I don't, this is why I don't judge, okay? Because it's just, it is what it is. This is what my life has come to. I am literally chiseling makeup off of my makeup because that's kind of like when I clean my vacuum to vacuum. Just getting these palettes back to the fact that I can even see what they are. I don't use a lot of pricey makeup. I have a few things that are a little more, I guess you can say, higher end, but I'm a tried and true drugstore kind of gal. I have a couple of Tarte things and some random other higher price things, but my makeup primarily comes from the drugstore or Amazon, and this is that sponge I was telling you about. Yeah. And this bag is getting tossed right in the garbage. There's no salvaging that. That needs to go. Now that I'm kind of cleaned all my makeup off, even my brushes, I don't use expensive brushes, so I don't tend to clean them too regularly because they're inexpensive enough for me when they are looking kind of shabby for me to just go ahead and, pick up some new brushes. So I just kind of cleaned the handles off of those, stuck them in, and now I'm just going through, sorting through my stuff, the things that I use daily. I use my eyelashes daily. That's a must. That's something I started probably probably almost 2 years ago now, and it's definitely been something I've been keeping up with and doing daily. So I have that in there, and I needed some refills of some stuff, so I had done an Amazon order the night before and got myself some of my new, just that e.l.f. cream I like to use on my cheeks for a little color, and a new contour palette, just a few things that I was low on, so I knew that I could use the refill. So I'm just sorting here, but I do wind up going back in and kind of moving everything around once I do this middle drawer here, which I didn't want to put any makeup in. I was just cleaning it out, and I wanted to use this as more of like an overflow toothpaste and my floss picks and that sort of thing in this drawer. And I definitely had enough of these organizers to do that as well, and they really worked out great. So I am so excited. I am chucking along here. After we finish up here in my bathroom, we are actually going to head down into my kitchen and start doing some deep cleaning things down there that needed to get done that I've been pushing aside. So let's do this. Let's get some stuff done. Now that I finished up for now upstairs in my bathroom, I am down here in the kitchen. And the stovetop was a main priority today. It's kind of gotten to the point where if I don't deep clean it, it just kind of stays this way. You do your maintenance cleaning, of course, here and there. But when it gets pretty bad and I just let it go because I know that I'm going to be cleaning it, in the near future, it gets pretty bad. So that's where we're at now. And it's pretty much the same. I kind of clean my stovetop the same every time. I take these grates here, I soak them in my sink. I have a pretty wide sink here, so I'm able to get them in here, but you can also do this in your bathtub if need be. And just hot water, the hottest water your sink allows. I put some baking soda in there as well as some dish soap, and I just kind of let that sit while I'm scrubbing away at the stovetop here. And then I take these off as well, the little burner tops, and I put them in a bowl of hot water. So I don't use the water from the sink. I actually go ahead and boil my water. I just until it gets to the boiling point. You don't need it to be going crazy. And then I pour it in there with some baking soda and just some lemons. And I just feel like it's an easy, it avoids the scrubbing. It makes everything kind of lift off a little bit easier. So while those things are soaking, these come off my stove as well. So I like to take these off, and so that way I can get kind of under there. And I just start off by using my regular sponge, my Adobe sponge that I use for my dishes as well. And I just kind of get off all the loose crumbs. Then I go with my Barkeeper's Friend and this kind of stainless steel. I have to figure out the exact terminology of this thing I'm using, but it is awesome. It's definitely a stainless steel scrubber of some sort, but it does not scratch your surface, and it lifts everything up, and it's super, moldable and bendable. So it really gets into the crevices, and I love it, and I use it for a lot of different things. They sell them everywhere regularly. I'll have to try to find it, and if I do, I'll link it below just so that you know what I'm talking about. Then after I kind of do that and kind of get it all incorporated with the Barkeeper's Friend, I go back with my cloth here, a wet cloth, and I just kind of get the bulk of it up, give it a nice shine. And now that I can kind of see, I'll go back and hit anything that I may have missed, any stuck on crumbs or anything like that. And this method really works great. I really don't have any need to use any other things to get my stovetop clean. This is pretty good, and I feel like I'm not using too many chemical-y things. I do for sure do a nice combination of both. I like to do more natural as well as, like the Barkeeper's Friend is definitely not natural, but it works, and I feel like I don't have to use a ton of it because it just works so well. So now I'm just taking a butter knife, and this you'll please do at your discretion. They definitely sell brushes for the same thing on Amazon if you're more comfortable with that. But I just take a good old butter knife and I put it, as you saw, I fold a paper towel around it, and I just get into those crevices that are just really stuck and gunky, and you can see it, just everything that gets in there, and it gets it right out. And like I said, you have to proceed with caution with this, because if your butter knife obviously touches the stainless steel, if it rips through the paper towel, it will scratch. So just do this at your own discretion, or don't do it at all and go on or use whatever little crevice brushes you have. But I might pick myself up a few, but I've always used a butter knife, and I've really never had any major issues. So now just getting the rest of the crumbs picked up, anything that may have fallen on, and giving it a nice shine with the dry microfiber cloth. Gonna flip my guy over here. My middle burner is long, so I just wanted to flip that over and just squeezing some of these lemons out in there, and you'll see the baking soda kind of lemon reaction. Baking soda is so great. It's an underrated, or maybe it's not underrated, but I feel like in my older years now, I get very excited for baking soda. Times have changed. I like to take my knobs out. They actually weren't that bad this day, so I'm not soaking them or doing anything like that. I'm just taking them, pulling them out, giving them a little wipe down, and then getting them back in. And the funny thing is, and this is the same for a lot of things, is I always think I'm going to know how I put them back in, like what order they go in, and I always forget. And it winds up being like a 20-minute thing of me trying to figure out which knob goes where. So if you do that and you have short-term memory, like me, loss sometimes, just remember kind of which order you take those knobs off, and that way when you put them back on, it's not a whole to-do. Now that I'm done scrubbing the top of the stove, I'm going to go ahead and get those grates taken out of that water, and I just really gave them a very light wipe down because the majority of all the gunk that was on them kind of fell out in the sink, which is the point of soaking them, which is great and just makes things a little bit easier. Putting my, this thing I keep in the middle of my stove here that I actually use for pancakes and stuff, but I keep it up there. Getting that back on there after I had cleaned it. And I'm not doing the inside of my oven today. I'm going to save that for a different day. You know, everything takes a really long time, and I had kind of a little checklist going on today that I wanted to plow through. So I'm not doing the inside of my oven, but this straw down here likes to collect crumbs and all of that. So I just wanted to give this a quick wipe down, and I'm just going to give the front a little wipe down as well. And then we're going to move right along. It felt so good to get this stovetop cleaned. It is nice and shiny. I love when you can see your reflection. Just really nice. And let's see how long it stays like this. Maybe for an hour. We'll see. Now we are moving on to my microwave. Now, I've said this in past videos, do as I say, not as I do. Go from top to bottom. Do your microwave first if it's above your stove, and then do your oven. I didn't have a ton of foliage, but I should have did the microwave first. So anyway, take that with what you will. So I'm pulling these down, the little filters here. I don't know if that's what they're actually called, but that live in the bottom of my microwave here. And to your eye, to my eye, actually, when I pulled them down, they really didn't look that bad, right? But I take this pot here of boiling water. Now, you want to get this up to a rapid boil, and then you shut it off, and you add in your baking soda, and it is like pure magic. Like, I didn't think that they were that bad, and this isn't even anything I'm going to show you a little bit later on, what this water turns into with all the gunk that came off of these things. So if you don't think they're really that bad, they might be that bad. And so, yeah. So just check that out, and that's super easy. And did I say I put baking soda in there? You let the water come to a rapid boil, turn it off, add in your baking soda. I just kind of eyeball it. It will get like a kind of a foamy reaction, so don't go too ham on it. Go easy at first. And then I just kind of add it in as I turn them around and as they start to, degrease. And it's amazing. And this is what I'm talking about here. I mean, what came off of these things is gross. And it smelled. Like, I let this pot sit for a little bit while I was cleaning the microwave, and it stunk. So just imagine if you have what does that smell? And sometimes that happens in the kitchen. It may just be these things under your microwave. So really quick and easy way to do that. And it was kind of a filmy, greasy mess under here. So I'm just taking my bottle that's filled with probably 80% vinegar, 20% water, and I just spraying that up there, and I'm just giving it a good scrub with this cloth here, and it really does the trick. Vinegar, I use a ton all over the house, and it always works magic. So just giving it a really good scrub. And my intent was not to do tile today, but while I was back there, it was seeming a little dingy. So I was doing that as well. But I had put a bowl of water and vinegar into the microwave. I believe it was a half a cup of each. And I let it go in the microwave for about 4 minutes. You don't want to let it go too long. So my microwave was good for 4 minutes. And then I let it sit in there for a good 5 minutes when it was done. And all this does, I'm sure you know, just kind of loosens any stuck on gunk, just makes, again, easier work of wiping everything down so you're not going in there with a chisel and, trying to chisel everything off the sidewalls and all of that. So just an easy and quick way. You can add a lemon in there too, just to make it kind of smell fresh. And this is that pot. And it was gross. And like I said, when I took them down, I didn't even think they were really that bad. They've been worse. I want to say maybe I did this about 6 months ago or so they weren't terrible. But when you put them in this pot of water like that, man, they seem pretty bad. So I'm just going to give them a rinse off here now that I'm done degreasing them. And I'm going to dry them off on these paper towels. And I recommend, we have septic here. I don't know that I would be pouring this down even if we didn't. So we're going to go ahead later on and take this. I had my husband kind of take this in my yard and go to an inconspicuous area and just kind of pour it out back there. because you don't want to be putting all that grease and grime down your pipes. So, but just a really quick and easy way to get rid of that. And now I'm just cleaning off the microwave tray here and getting all that assembled back together. It really was nice to have this feel done and clean. It's just nice to be able to, use these things and not feel like, oh, I got to clean them. And listen, in my house, things stay clean for a hot second. Our handle has seen better days. We need a new one. We actually need a new microwave altogether. If you don't shut the door all the way, the light will stay on, but it won't. Anyway, it's a thing. We need a new microwave. Okay. All right. I digress. So now we're back to my stove, and I had just wiped down a little bit of the fallout from the microwave clean. And I just took my steamer here. I have one of these handheld steamers, and I like to just get in these little crevices of the knob that is kind of a little difficult to do even with the butter knife trick. And it just melts everything away. Again, this is a use at your own discretion type thing. These steamers get very hot, obviously, so just, be mindful of that and careful, but they really make easy work of kind of loosening everything up. This is me playing musical knobs. I thought I had taken them off and put them in like an order on my counter so that I would know how to put them back in, but I didn't. No. So that took a little bit of time, and just kind of wiping everything down, getting everything nice and wiped, getting these guys back into here. And mine are very easy to take in and take out. I imagine that most microwaves are like that. I'm not certain, but they're super easy to get in and get out. So that was something I was happy to do. Now that I'm done kind of in the kitchen with the deep cleaning just for today, we're going to move on to the laundry room, I believe, next. I really wanted to do a simmer pot just to get the house kind of smelling good, and I love these. A lot of the times I'll do them in my slow cooker just so that I don't have the burner running constantly, but I hadn't done it on my stovetop in a while, and I love this particular one, and I will link it below. It says it's a Williams-Sonoma simmer pot. I don't think I've ever personally been in Williams-Sonoma, so I can't tell you if it smells exactly like it. But when my kids came home from school that day, they were like, what is that smell? And it wasn't in a bad way. They were like, it was a unique smell, and they really actually enjoyed it. And even my husband mentioned it. So anywho, I have that going on the stove, and now I'm into the laundry room. Now, here is another problem area, my washing machine. So I have a front loader, and they get nasty. It is what it is. We have a sticker. Obviously, stickers, they like to find their way onto everything. So we have a sticker in the washing machine. That I don't even think I took off when I was doing this. I have all this film on the door. We have all that mildew and gunk here in between these little rubber areas, which was the biggest concern that I knew I had to kind of attend to. So there's lots of ways to do this. I just like to take this kind of Comet bleach soft scrub stuff because I just feel like it's easy to work with. And I just like to kind of squeeze it in there. Not too much, just kind of line the bottom. I don't worry so much about the top. It's the bottom portion that really gets gunky. So I just like to put that in there. I'm just wiping the door down with my vinegar water mixture that I have here in my spray bottle, and that works like a charm every time. And I know a lot of people will use straight up bleach and kind of soak it in a white towel, and then you can put that towel in that kind of rubber gasket and let that sit. And I've done that before. I don't feel that it really makes any more of a difference than the way I'm doing it today. That's just how, what I've seen when I've done it both ways before. So I am taking just a microfiber cloth here with a little bit of that vinegar water mixture sprayed onto the cloth, and I'm just wiping the outer part of the gasket down. And now that I'm letting that Comet kind of sit in there for a little bit, I'm going to move on to our kind of slop sink here. And this sink gets destroyed. I mean, when I do painting jobs, when we do any types of arts and crafts, when the kids go outside and play in the snow or the mud and they have muddy boots, I'll tend to throw them in the sink. It's just this sink really takes a beating. and I don't clean it. I do not deep clean it like this as often as I should. So this was definitely a priority today. And I am just taking, again, some baking soda, kind of sprinkling on in there, giving it a scrub with my sponge. And then I'm going to go back, hit it with that vinegar water mixture I have in the water bottle. I'll be using that a lot today. And I'm just spraying it down, and you can see it's almost like immediate. It just shines everything up. And I am going back around with warm water, just doing what I can with the help of the nozzle here from the sink. And then I have to go back and kind of just, get in the areas that I can't get to with the water like that, and just really gives it a really nice shine. And it's like almost like back to new. It really looks great. I love using the baking soda and the vinegar really for so many different things. I wanted to get it good and dry because I am going next level. I don't always do this, but I am just taking a little bit of vegetable oil here. You can use olive oil as well. I did not want to use my good olive oil. It's expensive for cleaning purposes. So I took some of this vegetable oil here, and to me, it does the same thing. Just kind of buffing it in, and it just gives you that next level shine. And supposedly it's supposed to also keep from like the water from sitting. Things are supposed to, well, it makes sense, I guess, because vegetable oil is slick. It's supposed to kind of let everything slide off, and it supposedly keeps your surfaces cleaner longer when you do this. So we'll see. Time will tell. I'll let you know. I'm taking that same microfiber cloth with the vegetable oil, and I'm just kind of getting all of this crud off the front here as well. And worked like magic, worked like a charm. Now we're heading back over to the washing machine, and I'm just going to I took this right out of my dirty hamper. I just have a white towel here that needs to get washed. So I am taking that towel, and I am just going to kind of scrub all that soft scrub right out of there. And as you can see, it kind of just loosens all that mildew and any extra gunk that may be stuck down in there, and just giving it a really good scrub. Make sure that you get all that bleach up and out of there, as you just don't want any of that seeping into your washing machine if you're washing colors, obviously. And it's great. I mean, is it perfect? Absolutely not, but it's better than we found it, and that's always my goal. Leave things better than you found them. So I was excited to get that done. I have like a little smudge there, and it's actually on the inner, I don't even know how it happened. It's like on the inner part of the door, which is crazy. But anyway, we took a commercial break to go get my nails done. And I get my nails done about once every month and a half, 2 months. So we went full on Valentine's Day at this point, and I love them. So I was super excited to get a little, I think they call it self-care in my life. Then I had to come home, and I started on making some really cute party favors for my 9-year-old was turning 10. So we can't do treats or anything like that for birthdays in school. That's been banned now for a long time. So we're just doing some of these fun slap bracelets, the football slap bracelets that he's going to hand out to his little buds in school. So that was on my to-do list this day as well, and a super cute project. I'm really glad that I got a lot checked off my list, and I don't always do this. I do like to do it. I like to see things get done. I'm a very visual person. I like color. I like writing things down. So I was able to check off most of these boxes today, which was wonderful. I think the only thing I didn't get to that I had on here was my shower ceiling. We have to do some scrubbing in there, and my kitchen sink. So that's for another day. And this is how these slap bracelets turned out. And it's a super easy, if you have a Cricut, a super easy project. And even if you don't have a Cricut, you can definitely do these with, scissors and cardstock and, your own writing. So they are super cute and fun and an inexpensive way to give a gift to the whole class. When there's 26, 27 kids to a class, you got to utilize, make a do. I hope you had a great time with me today. Please consider subscribing. Hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.